Hello everybody, AOG Gaming here, back with
I
another
have
video
seen the
on
darkness that lurks
Mobile
behind the
Legends
light.
Adventures. Shut up, Night Rafaela. Jesus Christ. Okay, so, I don't really like making negative videos. I don't think my videos are negative, I think they're critical. Because I mean, I still play the games and I enjoy them, except for this slide. I fucking hate that game now. It's not that I hate the game, I hate the developers, I hate the company. Uh, Honestly, I'm just waiting for EOS. That's what I commented on their newest post about the releasing music, the DHS, whatever content. They're basically trying to milk the IP as much as possible, but it's not gonna matter. In the long term, they're gonna go bankrupt, or whoever is basically the owner of the company is gonna want to pull out all the investors because, well, they're not actually making any money. They're in fact losing money. So yeah, and there's a reason for that, right? The game itself has a lot of problems. So I have to talk about this game as well because it has a lot of problems as well. It's not a perfect game. It is fine for like the first 3-4 months, but it slows down a lot afterwards. And I see that a lot because there are people who haven't signed in for like over 3 months just because the game has really nothing else to offer. I know they're releasing new heroes and stuff, but again, they have shafted us once in a while by not telling us. Like, all this stuff is cool, but it's not really going to do much for the game itself. Divine Supplication might help if they do it the same way as before. If they're giving us buy again, then I guess that's fine. You get a fully maxed out ordered hero, basically. Because if they keep doing it every month, then so far it's been like that. They did it last month, so if they keep doing the Divine Supplication the same way that I think it's going to be, then maybe that's alright, but, you know, for most people, it's not going to bring them back to the game. Yeah, so I just want to talk about stuff that the game can fix. I know I do that a lot on my videos, but it's really just for y'all to know that, yeah, the game is definitely not as good as it can be, and I mean, I haven't signed in for like 3 days. If we go back to, like, I haven't signed in for almost 2 days. Sorry, 2 days. So it really hasn't, like, there's nothing for me to do other than dailies, and like I spent like maybe 20 minutes on the game, but it's really just an afterthought at this point. Which is sad because I really did enjoy the game at the beginning, but it really doesn't have anything much to do late game. Even like Tower of Babel, like I can't really push this as much anymore because like I need higher power heroes, and again, they don't really give you any premium heroes. They give you pretty bad heroes in general. They do, like, you know, a lot of it is RNG as well, but still, like, just pushing content in general takes so long. Especially late game, that it doesn't feel rewarding enough for me to continue playing and expecting to get a decent amount out of this game. Like, I can push this, right? Only because I have 2 heroes that I use actively, and that they're actually, I got enough copies to max them out. Well, not max them out, but you get what I mean. So yeah, it is just really sad. Because this game is fun, but there's just too much in the game that you don't really get to do because you're not paying money. That's pretty simple. And you know, Raid Shadow Legends has this exact problem too. It's the reason why that game is now just a whale game. Like, anybody who plays that free to play is just screwing themselves over in the end because they won't be able to do anything. Unless it's like they started at the very beginning, which would have been like, what, 5-6 years ago? Oh. So, I mean, they're probably fine because they've been playing since the beginning, so they've been able to save all their resources and they've been playing like crazy. And also, they're one of the only people who did it at the beginning. But when it comes to the average playing experience, which is what my channel is about, and when I mean average, that means new players, old players, all across the board, right? Like, I'm trying to basically make the gacha gaming industry fun again, because it's not. Let's be clear, right? The gacha games are fun for a short amount of time, and nobody can really dispute that because people quit. Whether that's Genshin Impact, whether that's Honkai Star Rail, whether that's Mobile Legends Adventures, whether that's Outer Plane, whether that's E7, whether that's like any of these big gacha games. Nikkei, what other game? Even I haven't heard about this game in a while because like it's died off too. Like just it's because the gacha games all follow the same fucking rules, and we're sick and tired of it. Just as average gamers, the massive genre of players who are stuck to the game, the only real ones who stay on the game are diehard fans, and people who are trying to invest into the game in some way, shape, or form. But it still ends up, these games still end up dying, right? And I want to make sure that these games can last. The problem is, companies don't care about anything but making money instantly. And that's the problem, right? A game shouldn't be a profiting scheme, right? It shouldn't be something that you automatically look to profit off of. Yes, you should get some money, but it shouldn't be to the point where you're trying to milk it. And I feel like that's 99% of the gacha industry, right? They just milk it to the point where it makes the average player base tired of even playing their game. And that's where I'm at with this game at this point, right? Like, I'm at the point where the progress is so slow. It doesn't really matter whether I do dailies or skip like 2 to 3, even 4 days a week. Like, really, it's not doing much for my account. um, like, really, all it will do is eventually I'll get like save up enough diamonds. But even then, it's like it just takes so long to save up diamonds. And like you need those. Those are like very important, and they don't give you. They give you like hundreds of them. You need thousands of them. See, that's the problem with gacha games, right? They give you a tenth of the rewards that you actually need for dailies, and this goes for every game. You can't really deny it. That's just how they do their game, right? For most gacha games, they only give you about a tenth of what you actually need. Even Reverse 1999. I know people can shit on me because I'm talking shit about their favorite games, but it's true. In the gacha gaming industry as a whole, it's just shit overall. That's why I never say these games are great games, because they're not. You could play any other console game, you pay once, you get so much more for your money. Of course, you know, there are hundreds of games out there that are trying to follow the same gacha industry where they have like the battle passes and stuff. There's a reason why those games don't last that long, right? They always have to keep releasing new ones because people don't want to keep paying the average player experience. The only people who are paying money are the diehard fans. After a while, average players will stop spending money. They'll realize there's no way that me spending money in this game will actually get me somewhere decent, right? So it just goes down to that. I'm just going to do dailies in the background. This is why I have the sounds pretty low. But yeah, it's just like I'm at the same pace. I'm at the same standpoint at this game, right? I've done so much in this game. It's been almost, what, 6 months? Wait, let's look. So my videos, actually let's go to my playlists. I'm on my phone right now. Okay, so Mobile Legends, the first video I posted, right, was 5 months ago. So 5 months ago, I said it was a great free-to-play game. Obviously it was. It was for maybe the first 3 months, right? And I haven't posted a lot of videos actually on this game. 33 videos only, which is kind of not a lot. But yeah, it just, it doesn't feel fun anymore. Like after I got Knight Rafaela, things have slowed down a lot, right? And that's the thing, right? Yeah, the new hero comes out, there's a big hype, and then it passes away. That's pretty much what the gacha standard is, right? You release a new hero, you get all the whales that pay money, get all the average players who might spend a couple bucks or something here and there, and you get the free-to-play who basically just gets screwed over. 100%, you can't really deny it. And it just goes down to the fact that they all think that we're gonna keep falling for this same bullshit that they keep spewing at us. And I'm here to try and change that, right? I'm trying to be with these companies and talk to them, but they don't listen to me because they just want money. They literally just want money. And you can't see your players as that because they're the ones keeping your games alive. So these companies end up dying. Like Watcher of Realms, Moontoon released that game. I haven't really seen anybody else talking about it. Most of the big people who talk about gacha games, I haven't even heard about that game. Why? because they're pay to win games 100%. There's no if, buts, or what's about them. And I hate that they do that because it really shows that they don't care about anybody but people who are paying money, right? Which is bad. Like, they can be doing a lot more for the game, but they're not. They just want money. And it just comes back to this thing, right? They can be generous. Like, Nikkei is doing a really good job right now. Their gacha system is probably one of the best. I haven't played the game at all, so I don't even know how the combat is. I know that it's just girls shaking their, their behinds. uh, when they're shooting guns or whatever, like jiggle physics. Basically, that's how they get people. And it goes down to people are sheep for pretty visuals. 100%. That's literally why the gacha gaming industry is successful. It's because they keep releasing really good graphics or, really alluring things for mainly, let's be honest here, the males, right, who are playing their games, because they're the ones who are going to be spending money. I gotta give it to females, right? They actually understand that spending money in games is not worth it. Because, I mean, if you did a poll, it would be like at least 70% of the player bases in all games are males. If not more. It's probably more, right? So it comes down to the fact that all of these males who are playing the game now don't give a shit about that anymore. Yes, some of us like it. There's a decent margin of whales that like it. But for the average player, they just want a good game to play, spend their time in, and be able to play with their friends, more importantly, right? Of course, I don't got friends, so that's doesn't really matter for me. But it keeps going back down to that thing, right? Like, they can do so much more with the game, but they don't. Like, if I had the money, if I had $1 million, I could create a gacha game that would be a 5-star on the reviews, 100%. Maybe not the first 2 weeks, but after I got lots of feedback, I'd be working on it every single day with my group, with my team, and we would make the game so good that people would literally want to sign in multiple times a day. That's what these gacha games want you to do, but they don't actually give you the incentive to do that, right? They have like some content that you gotta push, and it's like it takes forever, and you're just sitting there like, okay, well, I can let this run, or I can do actual content that's fun, right? So it all comes down to that, right? And don't get me wrong, there are definitely fun gacha games out there in terms of gameplay. But the problem is the gacha in itself, right? They overmarket the shit out of the gacha and they make it bad. Even this game, it doesn't have the best gacha, basically, system. The only... Okay, wait, let me do this real quick. I have to concentrate. There's only like a few games out there that actually have good gacha, and that's what I was talking about. Nikkei is a pretty good example of that, right? They don't give you the FOMO. Fear of missing out. And that's one of my favorite things, right? That's what I've been trying to change with the gacha gaming industry, and Nikkei has actually gone and done that. And I love that they have done that. Basically, that means that when they release a new hero, they have it on rate up, and then after that they put it in the gacha. And because the gacha pools are so diluted in all of these fucking games, it's basically impossible to get the new hero after the event. Outer Plane is the same way, E7 is the same way, Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, like all of these games, they're all exactly the fucking same, right? They give you the rate ups, they say, oh, market the shit out of this, have people pay as much money because they're going to miss out on it, and then they just barely give you a chance to get that hero again. You have to get really lucky, right? So Nikkei fixed that by giving you the ability to put these heroes on rate up. They give you a permanent rate up banner where you can put characters, right? Of course, it's like 15 of them, which I think is still kind of overinflated. If they did like 5 maybe, that'd be better, because there's only so many characters you can have on your team. So if gacha games did that, right, they had a rate up banner that was permanent, where you can choose 5 characters that are not the new characters, obviously, because they're going to be in their own rate up banners, and it'll still be, in fact, probably more lucrative than all of these other gacha games, because people will actually realize, oh, I can actually play this game and build characters even if they're new, because that's just how it works, right? So, like, it's really that simple. Really that simple. But gacha companies don't want to do that, and I don't know why. It would literally make their games 1,000 times better. But they just don't want to do it. And that's my problem with 99% of these gacha games, right? That's why I don't call them good games. And people are like, have you even played it? Yes, I played it. I haven't played it for more than a couple of hours because guess what I do? I wait until the gacha opens, I see what the gacha rates are, I see how it works, and I'm based it off of that because that is literally what these games are. They're gacha games. If and people say, "Oh, but you're missing out the whole gameplay." Well, that doesn't fucking matter if you can't get the characters to push content. Again, I'm gonna do another video on Outer Plane. It'll be a little bit critical today. I am sorry about not posting. I had diarrhea yesterday, so I was kind of not feeling good, like 3 times. So yeah, I do apologize. But yeah, we have like 4 videos coming out, so don't worry. We have a lot more content today that I wanted to do yesterday, but I couldn't today. So yeah, it just comes down to these few things, right? Like there's so much they can do, but they don't actually do them. And that is because they are trying to milk the living shit out of all of this. And that's not the way to go. That doesn't make a good game. That just makes a subscription to a game. And even this game has its problems, right? I am at a snail's pace at this point. I'm gonna keep pushing story at some point, but I haven't done it in like maybe a week or 2, just because there's no point for me to do that whatsoever. Like it literally will get me nothing. It will do nothing for me. It gives me minimum some diamonds, and really I can just wait and do that when there's an event because I'll be on the game anyway, right? And even when there are events, you only spend like tops an hour on the game. And it's the truth, right? These games don't give you much to keep you on the game after the first few months of playing the game. And even then, some people don't even stay on the game afterwards. Like they can't, because it's literally the amount of progress you get for the amount of work you put in is so minuscule. Look. It's not even worth it.
Somebody's scared.
So yeah, I mean, it just comes down to those few things. And then also the fact that, you know, I mean, the rates are always horrible. Like, it's really just the gachas in general. Like, the gacha pools themselves have to be much better for people to actually, like, play these games, right? And then this game, the reason why I'm talking about it is because we're getting legendary heroes now, and I'm seeing that they're basically doing the same thing as every other company out there. They're trying to milk the living shit out of the legendary heroes and have FOMO again, so you have fear of missing them out. Yeah, they're adding them to the game, but it's really slow, and we still gotta wait like, what, 6 months for them to add the next legendary hero. Like, it's not fast enough. You know, this light was doing it pretty fast, but they also had a problem, right? They had a shit ton of power creep, and the fact that they're releasing too many new heroes that it was literally impossible to get the new hero by the time they released the other new hero. So yeah, like it just comes down to the fact that you can't release heroes too fast, but you can't release them too slow. We can't power creep them too much. You know, Genshin Impact is feeling that like crazy. Literally, the power creep is disgusting, which is why I say that game's not good, because it isn't. The gacha rates are so bad, and then once the character leaves the rate up banner, you're pretty much screwed, right? You can't get that hero. And the one reason why these games are also so big is because people are collectors, right? Collecting will be a thing no matter what, whether it's physical items, like I'm an avid magic card collector, like it's just a thing, right? We love collecting things as humans. We love collecting, hoarding. It's just, okay, I don't even give a shit about this anymore. So yeah, I mean, like, I really don't care anymore about this game. Like, it's really just me doing content to do content. And even then, like, the amount of videos I've posted on this game is so minuscule compared to some other games, because there's nothing to do. This is why your games are failing, Moontoon. This is why your games are slowly dying, Hoyoverse. That's why they're releasing Zenless Zone Zero. Why do you think they're releasing a new game? Because Honkai Impact, I believe, is literally losing them money. So what are they doing? They're making the game worse. They're milking as much money as they can by releasing more pay-to-win content, and then they're going to release a new game to try and replace it. That's what these companies do, right? They literally just release new games. Moontoon did the same exact shit. They have Mobile Legends Bang Bang. That game flopped pretty hard, right? Like, yeah, it's a different type of game, but it's still a gacha game, and it still fucks you over with all the freaking FOMO, right? And it's one of my things that I hate about gacha games. That's why I can never 100% tell someone that, yes, this is a game you should play. I tell people what the caveats are to the game, the pros and cons, and I say, this is one of the more free-to-play friendly games. This is a decent game. That's what I say. This is a decent game, but now it's like once you get to a certain point, it just goes downhill. I'm at the point where I don't even want to sign in anymore. Like I'm at the point where I'm literally pushing nothing. Like I'm doing nothing.
I'm looking for the bravest of souls.
Like this skin I just got, right? That was a whole month of me waiting to get this skin. A whole ass month. And you know, skins actually do something in this game. So like I'm not mad about this. Like I just collect skins once in a while, so that's fine. But yeah, it took me a whole ass month. It actually has taken me, what, 5 months since I've started this game to get 2 epic skins. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous, right? And also, they don't always have the epic skins on like, so you can just get them. And the skin tokens are really hard to get. Like, there's just so much in the game, in this game itself. And there's other stuff, you know? So, you know, I'll talk more about this game now, and I'll stop talking about other gachas in general. Because we also have to talk about Outer Plane, right? Outer Plane is dying for a reason. People keep telling me, oh, just for that content you need specific heroes. Even then, you need those heroes maxed out. Like, it goes down to the fact that these games are not as decent as people think. There is a lot much better games when it comes to console games, which is why I push so hard for console games, because they are definitively better. Like, so much better. So this game, right, like, they tried to fix it with the whole, you know, daily rewards, you get the instant rewards, you get more. It really didn't do shit for me. Like, I pushed so much to get basically 100% more rewards from this. Didn't do anything. Like, it literally did nothing for my account. So, yeah, there's just too much stuff in the game where it's like, they need to try more. They're not doing enough for the game to actually, for me to actually say that people should be signing into the game and actually playing it. Like, there is not enough. Like for early game, yeah, you can do it if you want, but other than that, like, it just makes me so disheartened when I see games do this, right? Because it's the same thing, right? They pull you in for a few months, try and get you to spend as much money as possible, and then they throw you off to the side, right? Because unless you got money, you're not going to be able to push. That's where I'm at in this game, right? I'm able to barely move anywhere forward in this game. Like, in the past month, I've maybe, like, gotten all these characters at least to level 30, or sorry, 20 on their soul vessel, and then 2 to level 3, which you can say is pretty good, but no. It's really slow. It's painfully slow. That's the problem.
The darkness will never overcome the light.
It's so painfully slow that it almost makes me not want to play, and that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I like the game. Yeah, it's fun. It's got its own things. Why won't you let me just fucking... Okay, there we go. So, yeah, I mean, I can spew as many things as I want, but really, you'll eventually feel it. All the people who are playing this game with me. All the people who joined. Like, I'm sorry to say it, but it's true. Like, there's not much in this game that will keep you playing at all, whatsoever. And I can try and push content, but really it's like I get 30 minutes of like pushing stuff, and then I'm back to square one. Because there's nothing else to do. Literally nothing else to do. I can eat these heroes, but then I miss out. Again, miss out on having these heroes. And that's how they get you, right? They get you to spend more money. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna end this video early-ish because there's really nothing much else to talk about. But yeah, like if they released, you know, more stuff, like every 2 weeks if they had a Tinted Mirage and Realm of Legends, game would be so much better. It really isn't that hard to create a new hero. Like, if Dislight was able to do it, I'm pretty sure this game can do it, because Dislight has way better graphics, way different mechanics that are actually need a lot more balancing. Like, they just have a lot more mechanic wise. So again, I mean, that game's dead, so it doesn't matter. But like, I'm not trying to compare this game to anything, I'm just trying to analyze it as itself. But it's very similar. That's the problem, right? It's very similar to all of these other games. So I can't wholeheartedly tell people to continue playing this game or play this game, because it's just going to be a waste of your time. You're going to reach the point where I am, and you're going to be like, the only real time you should play is when there's events, when they release new heroes, yada yada, if you're trying to collect, or if you're trying to push your account. Because that's really the only time where I've seen my account actually get anywhere. So that's also the problem with gacha games, right? When they don't have events, they're pretty much dead. Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, E7, Outer Plane. I mean, Outer Plane has a new event every single, I don't know, 2 weeks or whatever, 3 weeks. But again, it's just them releasing a new hero and then calling that content. Can't really call that content, right? And it's also the fact that there's a lot of games that don't balance stuff. Like, they take forever to balance stuff because they don't see any value in it until they get enough backlash where they're like, alright, well, people aren't going to spend money. Eventually, they're going to start quitting, so we got to fix the game some way, right? And that just, it makes me seethe, right? Because it's stupid. It's ridiculous. People shouldn't have to come back when there's an event. They should be already playing the game because it's a fun game. That's what games are supposed to be, fun, right? But that's the problem. These games get boring, they get monotonous, and they get disheartening because you see how much progress you're making compared to how much work you're putting in, and you're like, well, it's basically a full-time job. And that's the problem, right? All these games want you to stay as long as possible. They're basically leeching your money and time to exorbitant amounts to the point where it doesn't matter if you play or not. Really, eventually you'll quit as an average player. So yeah, I'm gonna end this video here, but yeah, basically this game can, I mean, really they just gotta like times 10, right? If you're getting 500 diamonds there and then however many other diamonds you get, like if you're getting 1,000 here, like okay, now we're talking 1,500 a day. That's amazing. That's what would bring back every single, like this 10 summons a day. It literally doesn't, it's not even a chip off their shoulder. But what is that? They think they're going to lose money, right? They think people aren't going to spend money. But in fact, by detrimenting their players even more, it just makes them not make more money because 90% of their player base is gone. And they don't see it right away, right? Because all the whales are still spending. But eventually the whales will quit. Eventually the Leviathans, the freaking Krakens, they will all quit. Because there is nothing this game gives them other than pay money and you can play the game. Or keep paying money and you can keep being decent at the game. And that is a poisonous, disgusting business tactic that I'm trying to eliminate. Because I don't give a fuck how much money they want to make. If they do that, their company deserves to be bankrupt 100%. I don't care how good their game is. If they are literally just trying to take money without actually doing anything about the game, or, you know, making the game fun for both early gamers and late gamers, whether that's free to play or pay, their game doesn't deserve to exist as a game because it's not fun. It's not a game at that point. It's just a subscription to have fun, which at that point, it's not fun for most people. Except for the Krakens and Leviathans, obviously. So yeah, that's all I have for this video. I do apologize if it's critical, but I mean, as you can see, this is all I'm doing. Like, this is all I can do. I already pushed all the content that I wanted to. Maybe I'll do some story mode eventually tomorrow, but there's really nothing else for me to do in this fucking game. Like, it just goes down to that fact, right? So yeah, as always, thank you everybody for watching. AOG Gaming here. If you're enjoying the content, please like and subscribe. Really shows your support, helps me out, keeps you up to date with my content. 152 subscribers this time I checked. We are increasing a lot. This is insane, which I love, right? Because 153 actually. So yeah, I mean, if we don't get monetized soon, then I just won't be able to make videos. That simple. But I mean, we are increasing fast enough, so you know that's definitely motivation for me to keep going, even if I starve. But that is just the reality, right? I mean, it is what it is. Well, anyway, thank you everybody for watching AOG Gaming here. Thank you to all my viewers and subscribers. I really do have to say that. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video.